I think it's just like it helped a lot with being comfortable with the team, with my teammates, getting to know them. Obviously, for them to get to know me, and I just wanted to stay involved. You know, I was looking them from a distance, from the stands, obviously, and it was amazing to see them. You know, I just wanted to be a part of that, and that feeling I had already last year, and now I'm a part of it. So I'm like really grateful to be a part of it. You know.
You've played a lot of Champions League football, not so much for Arsenal, but for Ajax. And I
Yeah.
wondered the sort of skills that you need on a big Champions League night against a side like PSG. That
Yeah.
kind of streetwise now. What messages are you giving to some of the players in your squad that haven't had the opportunities you've had?
I think a lot of players played a lot of big games. Of course, the Champions League is a bit different. I think the games are a bit different, but it's not really different to the big games you have in the Premier League. So a lot of players know. I don't need to tell them how they need to play tomorrow or how they need to prepare for these big games. But obviously, we need to play with a lot of courage and just be who we are and yeah, show that tomorrow.
Moose?
Hi, how are you?
Good. You?
Yeah, good, thank you. This is not the PSG with all the big names, massive names it's had in the last few years. Still
Yeah.
got some big names, but you just don't,
Yeah.
play there or Messi or Neymar. How different do you have to take this challenge to maybe the challenge of playing against this kind of teams a year or two ago?
I haven't played against them, so it's hard for me to say. Yeah, I mean, in that time where they had those big players that you mentioned, I still think they're a really good team, really well coached, and they have so many good players, like world-class players still. So I don't think we will approach it differently. We just have to be prepared for tomorrow, and really just focus on ourselves as well.
Well, focusing on yourself. Last season, you didn't play, but you were very hands-on, watching and being involved.
Yeah.
This year's going to be looks like being very similar to last year. We're going to go very deep in terms of being title contenders and in this competition as well. How easy is it to be able to produce every 2 or 3 days the kind of performances you need if you're going to win silverware?
I've done it with Ajax, of course, but this is on a whole different level. And I'm just realizing that now because I'm not just playing now. I watched the team what I said from a distance, and they were absolutely like they were machines. If I looked at them last year, and we have to be this year the same because our competition, our opponents that want the same thing, are machines as well. So we have to be on that level every single time. It's not easy. But I think we have a really good squad, a good staff, and good fans that will push us all the way through.
Alex?
Thank you.
Hi, Jurrien. Just following on from that, Arsenal the last couple of years have turned into title challengers and hopefully wanted to do the same in the Champions League. Is it more of a mental challenge than anything than a physical challenge to keep at that level?
I think both, physical stuff as well. It's just we played 2 days ago. We all know how many games we have to play, so physical stuff. But mentally, it's also really tough. I'm just enjoying it right now because I couldn't play last year, and now I'm playing games, so I'm just enjoying that. That's it, honestly.
Sam?
Hi, we all saw how unlucky you were at the start of last season, and
Yeah.
by complete coincidence, Mikel Arteta also got injured very early on since joining. Just wondering if you've spoken to him at all or given him any of your experiences from last year of settling in while not being able to play.
To be honest, I think he's doing that really well for himself. He's a great character in the group. He's like I was last year, trying to be with the group a lot. He's doing the same thing, and so I don't really need to help him with that because he's doing it himself already in a perfect way. And we can't wait until we have him in the squad to play for us.
I wanted to ask you as well about your twin brother.
Yeah.
It's quite unusual, 2 twins who are both top football players.
Yeah.
How close are you still? I think you used to live together in the same room until...
I think now it's 2 years ago that we still slept in the same room. We played each other, and we in the evening we saw each other in the room. It was quite funny. But I think it's just a lot of fun, seeing him. I play tomorrow, and he's playing, I think, on Wednesday. So my family, my mom and brothers are coming tomorrow to London, and then he plays Girona away, I think, and the next morning they will fly to Spain. So it's just a lot of fun, I think, watching him and me play on this level. It's just an honor, I think.
Art?
Hi. First of all, do you prefer Jurrien or Jurrien?
Let's say Jurrien. Like everyone's in England says Jurrien.
I was just wanted to ask, when you first came last season, a lot of us were maybe expecting you to play right back and centre back, and then we saw you playing left back. I was
Yeah.
just wondering, was that a surprise for even you, as it was for us at the time?
Yeah, a bit to be honest. It happened in preseason. Yeah, it was before I think Barcelona. While I played in the training, I played left back. All of a sudden, and I was like, okay, there's a chance I'm gonna play left back tomorrow. I was like, yeah, that's okay. Just do my thing and enjoy it. And me, I'm just happy when I play. You know, I think it's a good thing being versatile and being able to play on multiple positions.
Obviously, being able to play both, you've done that this season as well. Was that something, being in all those team meetings, helped you kind of understand those roles a bit more? And was there anything that kind of stuck out to you in those meetings you were in?
Yeah. I'm just trying to pay attention in those meetings because it's a lot, and you play a lot of games. So that's what he said as well. As mentally, it's a lot as well. And yeah, I'm just paying attention for every position I'm being able to play. You know.
Isan?
Hi, Jurrien. On social media, I've noticed you often post Bible
Yeah.
verses and references on that. And of course, Bukayo Saka, he's a practicing Christian
Yeah.
too. Through Christianity, what kind of influence does that have on you playing football, and are you too close because of that aspect at all?
Not just because of that. I'm really good with Bukayo, but also with more players in the team. Maybe for me, my faith is everything. You know, it's I wake up with it, I go to sleep with it, and this is where I get my confidence from. So I like to share it with the football world, but also just with other people, if that's possible. You know.
In terms of the playing aspect, you've obviously recently been new Fiore as the fullbacks. What element does that bring to Arsenal that's been different, say, to last season? Or what kind of different things do you guys bring with the pairing?
I think everyone has his own qualities. It's just not just me and Ricardo. But obviously, I think everyone can see how good he is. A fantastic player and good character. And yeah, you guys are enjoying watching him, but we are also enjoying play with him.
Jordan?
Hi, Jurrien. It's been an intense few weeks of a lot of big games, another big game
Yeah.
tomorrow. But just how the squad have reacted to it, and does it just show how tough mentally, physically this squad is to take on big challenges and big games?
I think that's it. What you're saying, you know, we've been through a lot the last couple of weeks. Things happened in matches that we didn't expect or could prepare for. But I think the team showed again and again that we're ready for everything that's coming, and we have to be if we want to achieve amazing things this season.
And when you look around the squad, I mean, you've been in Champions League campaigns. Is this a squad that can go a long way in competition and balance that with a title race as well?
Definitely. I think we have a really good deep squad, and that can achieve amazing things if we keep going like we're doing and like the team was already doing that for the last 2 years, I think.
Kaya?
Just following on from that theme of toughness, we saw it a bit from the underdog London derby with Vicario and sort of standing your ground there. Obviously, it's a bit different from the Eredivisie in terms of the Premier League and the more physical approach. But how are you enjoying those kind of battles? So obviously, like the one in London derby as well.
Yeah, it was my first, so I felt the tension and yeah, the importance of winning that game. But yeah, it was lovely playing it and winning it. Obviously, that was the most important thing. And yeah, it got a bit hectic that moment, but at the end, it was a really nice day.
And following on again from what Art was saying about versatility, if I'm not mistaken, you played a little bit in midfield as well as anywhere across the back line. Is that correct?
I've played midfield at Ajax a couple of times, in the youth as well, but mainly as a centre back or a full back.
Would you sort of be open to the idea if Mikel came to you and said, "I need you to play in midfield tomorrow with everything you're in"?
Of course. Everywhere he wants to play me, I will give my best always.
Mike? Yeah.
Before the last round of Champions League games, Rodri at Manchester City and Alisson at Liverpool both had made comments about the extra games in the group phase this season and whether we're approaching a stage where players are being asked to play too many games. As someone who missed nearly all of last season, are you keen to go on strike, or I'd imagine you'd be keen to play players?
No. To be honest, I totally agree with them. I think it's also like a big topic at the moment in dressing rooms. Not only at City and Liverpool, also in our dressing room. But for me, what you said, I didn't play last season, so I'm just enjoying playing now. You won't hear me complain, but I totally understand what they're saying.
Do you think players are more at risk of serious injury? You spent
players at more risk of injury if they're being asked to play more and more and more at club level?
Definitely, I think it's honestly a dangerous thing. Even last week, I think we played City, and City played 2 days later. They played again. I think that's too much, and yeah, understand why these players are complaining.
Simon?
We heard from Mikel the other week on that topic, and he sort of stressed the point that players need to be heard in these conversations. Is that an important thing, that whatever happens with the calendar schedule, that the players are the ones that are listened to and the voices are heard?
Yeah, and I think it's a really good thing that the players are speaking out now and letting them let the voices hear, because it doesn't look like it's getting any less at the moment. So yeah, we're trying to be there every game and yeah, give our best, but it gets hard if the games are like coming and coming, especially in England without having a winter break. I think it's really hard.
And in that sense, in this new format where if you're in the top 8, you save yourselves 2 games. Does that
That makes a difference.
in that top 8?
Yeah, I think that makes a difference. Of course, you want to be in the top 8 because you wanna end the highest possible. But in this case, it also makes a difference for your team, like resting in that bit.
Cool. I think we'll end it there then. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Underneath, okay, cool. Good morning, everyone. Hope everyone's well.
Morning.
We'll kick off with the usual live section, and we'll do a little bit for 10:30 tonight. If the cameras are ready at the back, we shall kick off. We'll kick off. I look to Alex on the BBC to kick off.
Hi, Mikel.
Hello.
Could we get a fitness update, please?
Well, no big news. Obviously, we have a training session this afternoon. We have to review a few players, but overall, especially returning, nothing to give back.
And a first Champions League game of this campaign at home, how important is that moment?
Yeah, really looking forward to it. This is the kind of nights that we want to experience, we want to have against an unbelievable opponent, and we're just ready for it.
And so far this season, you've had to show so many different types of mentality. 10 men at Manchester City, losing the lead at the weekend and going right to the final whistle to win. How pleased have you been with what the mentality that the team have shown so far?
Yeah, as you said, a very different one. We end up having to play a very different game in the second half against City, and at the end losing 2 points in the last minute. We did completely the opposite, playing a low block like we did against them, and with different challenging, but watching the game back, the amount of things that we generated, so pleased with the team.
Gail from Sky.
Can I just clarify some of those injuries? Ben White didn't play on the weekend. Is there a chance he can make it tomorrow night? And also, there are unconfirmed reports about Ricardo Calafiori leaving the game in tears after a problem with his knee. Can you sort of dispel those myths or otherwise?
Yeah, those are the 2 players that are in contention, and we have to review today.
But the Calafiori is not a serious injury.
But no, we didn't do any training session yesterday. Obviously, it was a bit emotional after the game, and let's see how it is today.
Okay, and for you, PSG was your first professional club. I wonder, you've spoken a little bit about what it did for you. How's it shaped you into the manager that you are, and the manager that will step out at the Emirates tomorrow night?
Well, it was my first professional experience, as you said. It was an unbelievable time that I spent there. I loved every minute of it. I will always be grateful to the club, to Luis Fernandez, because he was the one that believed in me when I was 17, 18 years old, and I played professional football. And from there, yeah, it was a platform to share an experience in a club of that size, in a city that is probably the most beautiful one in Europe. An experience that stayed forever, with teammates that helped me and shape, as you mentioned, who I wanted to be as a player, and then as well, I think, igniting something in me to become a manager in the future. And there were some very important individuals in that part of my career.
Yeah, talk to.
Hi, how are you?
Hi.
When you went to PSG, you played with some great players there, but they wanted to keep you, but you went back to Barcelona. Can you just tell us what it was like to play with the standard players you played there and why you didn't stay in France?
Well, unbelievable. Ronaldinho, Anelka, Okocha, Pochettino, Gavi Heinze, all unbelievable players. I wanted to stay there, but I was in that moment owned by Barcelona, and they didn't find an agreement, and then I had to do something else. But I was so happy there, and I wanted to stay there, but at the end I have to do something else. This is football.
Absolutely. And then you came to England. Did you ever get close to going back there as a player?
No, once I was here, then my career started to develop here, and it's been a few years in then.
And how important fun has it been this season to show that you can win games like on Saturday in the last minute in injury time, or other games where you put them to bed much earlier? How good this season is, the different ways you won games?
Well, it shapes, I think, the character and the body of the team, you know, that they have the certainty that they can win in any context, that they can adapt to very different contexts during matches. The Champions League demands that you can pretend to play against this kind of opposition and dominate 95 minutes. It does not happen at this level, so you have to be really good in other phases as well to stay in the game, to be comfortable there and still have always a belief and intention to win it.
Josh?
Hi.
Last season at home in the group stage, it was 3 wins, 12 goals, none conceded. What is it about Champions League nights at the Emirates that's so special?
Well, everybody's looking forward to it. We missed it for a number of years, and last year it was the first one after so many years that we had the experience to do it. The group stage is a bit different this season. The opposition we're going to face tomorrow is probably at the highest level that you can find in European football, but honestly it's a great opportunity for us to see how we deal with that night, how prepared we are, and how we can impose ourselves in this kind of context.
Simon?
Mikel, can I just ask you what your memories of Luis Enrique were when you were at Barcelona, and did you sort of see then that?
A smile on my face. Huge admirer of him. An unbelievable personality, you know, huge charisma, huge energy, very supportive with the young players, always. And what I love about him is that whatever he's been as a player or as a manager, his fingerprints are all over the place. You know, you can sense that that's his team. You can see now PSG, that's his team. The way the players behave, the way they want to attack, they want to dominate games, the spirit, the energy that they have. He has this unbelievable power, you know. He's done it in all the clubs that he's been. He did it with Spain, with the national team. And then his approach to life and his profession, something to really look at, and I learned a lot of things of him.
I mean, how much did he influence you, particularly in the ways his management teams, like that Barcelona side he had with Messi, Suarez, Neymar? If you looked at that and seen an admiration, something that's...
One word is honesty. It's like this, straightforward. He looks in your eyes, he tells you what he thinks. And I think at the end, players appreciate that. You might like it more or less, depending on how it happens, by the way everybody talks. And I have 2 or 3 players here, they've been with him in the national team. They always say the same thing. And they all enjoy playing under him, you know. And when somebody can make you feel like that in your profession, that's a big quality to have.
Hi, Mikel. I was just going to ask about Jurrien and Ricardo, because started the last 2 league games as your fullbacks, and I guess have they brought something to those positions that you didn't really have last year, even with Jurrien when he was injured, that you probably wanted a little bit earlier?
Yes, obviously we missed Jurrien 11 months and Ricky wasn't here. There are 2 players that have, first of all, the football brain, the intelligence, the courage, the quality, and the adaptability to you occupy different spaces, both attacking and defending, and that gives the team, you know, a different flow, different dynamic, very unpredictable for the opponent to defend certain ways, and both huge personality to play, which I love.
On that unpredictability, is it the fact that all your fullback options have their own little qualities that are different to each other that makes it so good for you as a coach to pick and choose when you use one or the other?
Yes, they have to have one in common, that they have to love defending first, because they are defenders, and after that, every quality that we add is great. But as well, playing fullbacks, natural foot, especially when we play inverted attacking midfielders and wingers many times, for the flow of those units is incredibly important, and you could see that the weekend as well.
Okay.
You spoke a bit about Jurrien as a character off the pitch and what he's like sort of around the training ground, what he's like in the dressing room, that kind of thing?
A leader, a guy that is constantly thinking how can I help others, bringing unbelievable energy and commitment to everything that he does in the very little time that he's been with us, and especially with the amount of time he has spent on the pitch, for everybody to speak so highly of him, to respect him and look at him in the way that they do. It tells you the story of the kind of personality we have in that team.
And obviously when he was out last year, you worked really hard to keep him close to the team. Can you just talk me through that process of keeping him near and keeping him involved, and why you thought that was so important for him?
Well, just getting in his shoes, you know. He comes from Ajax, he was the captain there, big move, different country. He comes here with his expectations, he starts really well, and he gets injured on the first game. And then what? You know, you have to look ahead, 8, 9, 10, 12 months maybe, difficult periods. And if you are disconnected to the team, you can feel very lonely and far from the expectation that you had. And this can be very disappointing and very difficult to handle personally and emotionally. And he did completely the opposite. You know, he started to build unbelievable relationships. He started with physios, with the teammates. They started to gather all the information about how we were playing. He was in every meeting, and that really helped him, I think, to develop himself as a person, but as well to understand what we wanted in a much better way and be prepared when he was back.
Phil?
Hi, Mikel.
Hi.
How highly do you rate PSG, and what sort of message do you think it would send out tomorrow night if Arsenal can beat them at the Emirates?
Well, really tough. You know, they are exceptional, an exceptional team. They dominate every phase of play, a team that it's very clear intention how they want to dominate the ball, the game through the ball, and when they don't have it, they want it straight back. They are really aggressive with it, and they confront you. That's Luis, you know. Everywhere he plays against any opponent in any context, that's the way they do it, and that's the biggest strength that they have.
Okay, we've got a couple more in English, and we've got a couple in Spanish, and then French at the back, so we'll come on.
How much tomorrow game is very important? Arsenal is 1 point, PSG is 3 points. If Arsenal win, maybe avoid to play another 2 games. How much tomorrow is very important for you and for the player? And the second one, now both of you is a coach with Enrique. How do you feel about you are one of the coach, one of the most successful one in the world, and he is as well. It is making a difference for tomorrow game.
Well, the first question, yeah, of course, we want to win the game, and we know after the draw in Atalanta, with the number of games that we have still, is going to be really important. Nothing is going to be decided, obviously, tomorrow. And regarding Luis and I, yeah, we both want to do the best for our clubs. Obviously, he's won, I think, every competition that you can imagine already in his career. He has transformed now a club that has a very clear identity under him. And that's a big achievement, the way he's done it personally. So, yeah, a very good test for all of us.
Okay, Davide?
Hi, Mikel.
Hi.
Going back to Calafiori, despite independence league is going to play around, what have you seen from him so far that has allowed him to play so well?
How willing he is. You know, the moment I spoke with him on the phone the first time, he wanted to come here. He understood what we wanted straight away, and he felt that he was going to be a perfect fit here. And he was. He landed, big smile on his face. He's got this energy, this aura around him that is very likable. And then he's a fighter. He's a player that wants to play in the way that we want to play, and he would do anything for the team. So straight away, when you have those qualities, I think a lot of things have to be wrong not to succeed.
When he scored at City, he came straight to you and hugged you. Is there a particular relationship between you two?
Like with all the players, we try to give them the best possible environment for them, for the families to feel in the best way. I think he appreciates the efforts that the club and every member of the staff has done since his arrival to make his life the best possible way, and I think he's enjoying it.
Okay, from French TV, from Arthur, at the back there.
Hi, Coach.
Hi.
We have just learned that Ousmane Dembélé is not in the PSG squad. It's disciplinary issues. Does it change something for you?
Yeah, we just got the news before. I don't know if it's true or not. We're going to prepare like we always do with every possibility, and let's see. But obviously they have many other options.
You have a very strong group on free kicks. Do you think that's a really good advantage for you tomorrow in this game?
I think every team has his own strengths and weaknesses, and tomorrow we will try to exploit ours for sure.
Okay, we'll finish the live section with two in Spanish. Rodrigo.
Hola Mikel, aquí
Hola.
me gustaría preguntarte en español tu relación especial que tienes con el PSG, qué tan importante va a ser el partido de mañana, un club donde empezaste tu carrera como profesional con Ronaldinho, con Heinze, con Pochettino, especial partido para ti mañana, ¿no?
Muy especial. Primero por lo que siento por ese club, por el agradecimiento eterno que me dio la oportunidad de jugar por primera vez a nivel profesional y lo que disfruté de la experiencia, del club, de la ciudad, de los compañeros, del entrenador que tuve. Y volver a enfrentarme a ellos es obviamente para mí algo muy especial.
Y Luis Enrique, también otro entrenador español muy exitoso, especial partido de enfrentar a él mañana.
Muy especial y un reto grande, para mí uno de los mejores entrenadores del mundo y alguien al que admiro muchísimo y respeto muchísimo por la forma de ser y la forma en la que trabaja.
Gracias.
Thank you. In Spanish.
Sí, aquí para TNT Sports Brasil. Quería te preguntar sobre Gabriel Magalhães, si puede ser una arma ofensiva importante, especialmente si tenemos un partido que está muy cerrado y ser como una, no una sorpresa, pero un ataque también.
Sí, la verdad que Gavi ha evolucionado de una manera en la parte defensiva, es un arma por la solidez que nos dé y en ataque porque cada vez que pisa el área se siente el peligro y la amenaza y la confianza que tiene el equipo en él.
¿Y qué te parece el otro Gabriel Jesús? ¿Podemos volver titular o cómo está evolucionando en esta temporada?
También bien, empezó muy bien la pretemporada, tuvo una lesión que lo apartó y le paró un poco el ritmo y ahora ha vuelto, ha jugado 2 partidos de titular ya con Atalanta y Bolton, ya ha entrado en otros 2-3 partidos y eso, que coja su máximo nivel y será un jugador muy importante para nosotros.
Okay, guys, that finishes the live section. We'll go to 10:30 tonight now, and we'll kick off with Sam from the Telegraph.
Hello.
You've spoken about how wonderful an experience it was to go to PSG 17. It must have also been terrifying.
Oh.
You're 17, different
Yeah.
language, living in a hotel, I think.
It was for me, it was for my family, so we were in Barcelona, we got the phone calls, you need to do the bags and fly to Paris now. It's like 17 years old, you haven't played any professional football, and you look at those names and said, are they sure? They got the right name. But you get there, and yeah, Luis Fernandez was the manager, he was the one that believed in me. And that's what you need, someone to give you the chance, be surrounded by the right individuals that I was very lucky to have them because they protect me like a son, and it was the perfect environment of me, you know, to give me the chance and see if I was capable of doing, and it was an amazing experience.
How did it work on the pitch with Ronaldinho? Did you ask him to give you the ball and he give you the defending?
Exactly. So no, I had to do all the defense because I had Ronaldinho and Okocha in front of me. So imagine, but it was super. It was almost unreal. It was a dream for me, and I was so blessed, and I had so much energy at that time. I couldn't waste that opportunity. I enjoyed every minute of it.
Dave?
Hi Mikel, what do you remember about your Champions League debut for PSG, of course, against Milan at San Siro? Just maybe take us to when you're in the tunnel waiting to go out.
No, I was in the tunnel, I was looking, it was Berlusconi, Maldini, Pirlo, Shevchenko, I was looking there, they were all like this. I was like, really, it was going to thrown to the lions there, you know, in Rome. But it turned out to be a really good match, and I really enjoyed it. And again, it was an unbelievable night.
And just what Sam mentioned about we all love Ronaldinho, right? He's the reason why a lot of people love football itself.
Ah.
Do you remember anything, a little story about him, or just anything at all?
Yeah, I shared. We were roommates for a year and a half. But I could not see him like this at the time, obviously. But he was a huge talent. He was coming from Brazil. He didn't have the work permit, you know, so he had to wait for a couple of months. But he's the only player that I've seen in history that he could transform by himself 2 clubs. He did it in Paris. He transformed it. He went to Barcelona, and one of the worst moments, he transformed it. He had an aura, an energy, a smile on his face that it was impossible to be next to him and be in a bad mood, you know. And then I never seen a talent like this in training, in every drill. It's like, how is this possible? Physically, it's impossible to do certain things. It was unbelievable to play with him, yeah.
What was he like to room with?
It was great, honestly. Again, so much energy, so much fun. Everything was good, you know, never a problem. Great times.
Jordan?
Hi, Mikel. You said also that it ignited something in you to become a manager at well at PSG. Can you explain how what happened?
Well, the first one, Luis, because he was a really, really brave manager. To believe in someone so young that never proved it at this level, when your job is at stake, you need something special. And he always talked about that. If you have the opportunity one day to give opportunity to others, you have to do it, you know. And the others were Maurizio Pochettino and Gabriel Heinze. And those two were next to me all the time, behind me all the time, and they were like guiding me in everything that I had to do, my professional life, how I have to understand the game, and they were an inspiration for me to become a manager.
And just last season you reached the quarter-final, but you were involved in a really intense title race. Looks like it'll be the same this year. Is this squad able and ready to compete on two fronts at the highest stage of football?
This is what we have to prove. You know, last year we went almost all the way. We came short, so there are other things that we're going to have to do better. We're going to involve as well in the cups much further than we did last year, and that's the next step that we have to make as a team.
Yes, sir.
Hi, Mikel. Obviously at PSG you were only 17, which is a very tender age. On a human level, did it teach you in terms of, right now obviously you've got young players like Ethan Winery and other young teenagers, because you were young at that time, is there anything from that experience that you bring to the table now when you're dealing with your young players at Arsenal?
Yeah. Basically what I had and what made that experience successful, you know, and try to provide that, because is basically what they need, not what I need, is what do the boys need, you know. And the first thing that they need, I think, on top of the manner, is respect of their teammates, you know, that the teammates look at them and say, he's one of our own, and he's going to respond to us. They've got it now, and that's very important. I think the manager has got a responsibility on that in the way that he communicates with that player and the decision he makes, in order for the rest to understand he is one of us, and then they have to shine and go through the experiences and move on.
We've seen obviously the rise of Big Gabby at the back in recent seasons. This year, again, season's only a month or two. It's been a month or two, and he's obviously scored a few corners with his head. What do you make of his rise in terms of off the field and on the field? He seems to keep growing by the year.
Yeah. I think his role in the team, the way he was perceived when he arrived, obviously the language was a barrier. He didn't have the environment, he didn't have the family that he's got today. He's made a lot of right decisions. He's proved everybody how committed he is to the team and to the club. And then obviously performances are undeniable that have taken him to different level in terms of the standard he sets in the team, in the way we have to especially defend.
Okay, we'll go last couple now, Tom.
Hi, Mikel. What was your relationship with Luis Enrique like at Barcelona? Did you speak a lot, or was he one of the ones who was making it difficult for you to get in the team, I guess?
No, well, he could play anywhere. He could play right, left, attacking midfielder. He played fullback. I was very young still. I was training with the first team in pre-season and a few times during the year. He was extremely supportive with the young players. He was one of the main characters there. By far, he was one of the captains. So really good memories of him.
I guess when you were sort of doing your coaching badges towards the end of your playing career, that was about the time when he was winning the treble with Barcelona and Messi, and I wondered if he was kind of a bit of an inspiration for you.
For sure.
Did you talk to him at all about coaching and getting into management?
No, it was, and we have a lot of people in common as well, and obviously, I always admire his teams the way, and I say his because you can say all the time that they are very specific on his way of thinking and how he wants to approach football, and to deliver that it's not easy at all, and he's done that in various clubs.
And finally, Mike.
Sleeping habits to him?
Sorry?
Did you have similar sleeping habits to Ronaldinho? Same bedtime?
With me, it was always perfect.
And finally, Mike.
Mikel, despite investing heavily in their squad over the years, Paris Saint-Germain haven't won the Champions League yet. Does that show how difficult it is to win this competition when you can invest as heavily as they have and still not go all the way?
Yeah, for sure, because they've been very close, to be fair, a few times, and the small details are, and what happened last year is a very good reflection of that, especially on the tie against Dortmund. But they certainly have the ability, they have now the experience, and they have the hunger for sure to try to accomplish that, and one day they will do it for sure.
It's not all down to investment. You've got tremendous team spirit here. Have Arsenal got the ingredients to go all the way this year?
Well, that's what certainly we're going to try, but now it's about PSG. We are very, very far from even thinking about or dreaming about that, and let's do the job tomorrow.
Okay, everyone.
Yeah.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.